Today, we're going to take a look at the 2024 Joe Biden-Donald Trump map based on the current polling. I usually do this every month, and this is going to be after the Trump conviction, but before any of the fallout. So you could get your data from a variety of sources and different aggregates. I find 270 to win to be the easiest. They take up to the 5 most recent polls, they average them out. And as always, some states do not have any recent polling, and some of them only have one poll from a few months ago. There's not much I could do about that. I'm just using the data that's there. So this could easily change, but we'll take a look at it again in the future. But let's get into the safe states. These are over a 10-point margin. Let's start with Joe Biden. He's going to get Hawaii. He's going to get the West Coast, Washington, Oregon, California. Then we got to go all the way to the East Coast. We're going to give him Vermont. He's also going to get New York. Now, I have seen the Siena College poll that did show it under 10. And the average I used, it was over 10, so it's going to stay safe. Then in Massachusetts, we did get some updated polling there. That's easily going to be safe for Biden. And it's the same thing in Rhode Island. Then we could skip down to Biden's home state of Delaware, as well as Maryland. And then, of course, Washington, D.C., all safe for Biden. Not really any surprises there, unless you were holding out for New York. Maybe even in Washington state, there was a poll that came out not that long ago. It showed Trump in the lead. The sample size was extremely low. That poll, I don't think, was factored into many of the aggregates. Now let's do the safe states for Trump. He's going to get Alaska. He's also going to get all the states in the West, from Idaho and Utah, from the Dakotas down to Oklahoma, south and around through South Carolina, and then up to West Virginia. In this situation, he's also going to get Iowa. That does get over 10 points. So nothing too shocking there. That's going safe. Those are all obvious red states. In 2020, Iowa was under 10. This time, it looks like Trump is over that double-digit hump. And also in the Northeast, we've got to give him Maine's 2nd congressional district. Now let's do the likely states. These are between a 5 and a 10-point margin. For Joe Biden, he's going to get Colorado, and that was exactly at a 10-point margin. So you can put that at safe if your cutoff is exactly at 10. It's debatable. I'm going to say it's likely because it's just not quite over 10 points, but he's also going to get New Mexico. And then we're going to stop off in the Midwest and give him Illinois. This is another state that really needs some updated polling. The only thing that's there did show it under 10, so I've got to keep it at likely. Now we could go up to the Northeast into Maine and take a look at the 1st congressional district. This one I would expect to go safe for Biden in the end, but we're still using that same poll from a few months ago that showed it under 10. I would expect a lot of dissatisfied Biden voters to come back in the end. Now we're also going to go to Connecticut. This is another one with outdated polling, but I've got to use what I've had, and it's going to be likely. And the last state is going to be New Jersey, and the data there did show it under 10. Now the likely states for Trump. This time let's start in the East. We're going to go back up to Maine at large, and he is going to get that likely. Again, it's that same poll. Both Biden and Trump were in the 30s. Until we get something new, I've got to leave it at likely. Then down the East Coast, we're going to go to North Carolina. Then he's also going to get Georgia. Then his home state of Florida was under 10, so that's going to go likely. Then we've got to look at the Buckeye State. This is one that is actually just at about 10 points, so similar to Colorado, we're going to put it at likely. Then we're going to go down to Texas. That's high single digits. It's going to go likely. And the last likely state for Trump is going to be the silver state of Nevada. All those were over a 5-point margin. Now we go down to the competitive states. Lean margins are more than 1 point but less than 5. Tilt margins are 1 point or less. So we're going to start in Arizona. This is going to go leans for Trump. Now we can stop off in Nebraska's 2nd congressional district. There has been some updated polling out of the 2nd congressional district. It actually did show Trump in the lead here by low single digits, so he's going to get it by a leans. Now we go up to Minnesota. That was low single digits. It's going to go to Biden by a lean margin. Next door in Wisconsin, this is key Rust Belt territory. And this time it was very narrow. It was under a 1-point margin. And it is going to go to Joe Biden by a tilt margin. Next door in Michigan, that's going to go in the other direction. That's going to go toward Trump, and he's going to get it by a lean margin. It's going to be the same thing in Pennsylvania. Trump is going to get that by a lean. Then in the Northeast, we've got New Hampshire. That state also was under 5 points. It's going to go blue. Biden's going to get it by a leans. So we've got one state left, and that is Virginia. Now, there was that recent Roanoke College poll that showed it tied at 42. All the other polling was outdated, so it wasn't factored into the average. So for this rating, we've actually got to put this at a tie. So the final map comes out to 305 for Trump, 220 for Biden. We've got 13 tied in Virginia. So Trump still wins it relatively comfortably. And like with pretty much any other map, a lot of these margins are very borderline. Some are close to lean likely, a bunch are close to likely safe. It's probably best to not get hung up on the specific ratings. And of course, we do need some updated polling in places like New Mexico, Illinois, Connecticut. Not that I really expect those states to be competitive, but I hate using data that is not at all current. So this is similar to the map I did a month ago. This time I think we've got Ohio going likely, but we also have Nebraska's 2nd flipping for Trump, and Virginia is tied. There's no telling what the polling fallout is going to be after this conviction. My best guess is for the the next couple of weeks, Trump could take a small hit in some of the polling. It only makes sense to me that if you're undecided or not really following politics, a felony conviction is probably a little bit more likely to move you away from a candidate. Even the people that say they're less likely to vote for Trump, less likely doesn't necessarily mean not vote for. It's only June, we've got debates coming up, plus we've got sentencing. We just don't know if this is going to have any staying power and do some real damage, or if Trump is just going to shake it off and it's going to pretty much blow over. Biden has a ton of issues himself. There's no way to really predict this with much confidence. So maybe there's some volatile polling over the next month. Maybe it stays the same. We'll see what happens, but this is the current map based on the polling as of early June. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about this map? Any surprises? What do you expect to change? Maybe you use different data entirely and you have a different looking map. Let me know down below. On your way out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join if you'd like to support the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.